engaging with armless, unarmed, innocent civilians, then the burden of accountability has to be on the person carrying an AK-47, right? If you are carrying an AK-47, you are unduly advantaged. So the burden of accountability has to be shown, on you, even if it is a little bit overboard, because you're carrying an AK-47. So it is already a terrible situation where we give poorly paid people firearm, and then there's absolutely no structure to hold them accountable. They extort. If you are engaged by someone carrying an AK-47 and the person asks you for a bribe, you will give it, even if it is against your morality, right? So that movement was it's been a long time coming, and we commend all youths involved in the protest. The problem is that the government did not expect it. It was the right movement. The movement was peaceful, well organized. So I think the sheer peace and organization of that movement disarmed the government. They didn't know how to respond to it. And, but I think that what happened eventually at the toll plaza on the 20th of October 2020 was that, especially also how the government eventually reacted to the allegations of the army going there to shoot, injure, and kill people, is that the youths expected more from the government. But I know we've seen this a lot. I'll round up now. We've seen this a lot of times in other climes, that when you are knocking at the right door, it may not open immediately, but I think the Endsars movement was the right door, and the youth should keep knocking it. Nobody carrying an AK-47 should have the kind of liberty and recklessness that the Nigerian law enforcement agencies have. People should be held accountable. At the very least, citizens should be able to record law enforcement officers. So I say, for example, to people that as a solution and way forward, without any budgets, the IG of police, for example, or the president can issue an executive order that says that if you are carrying firearms and you are approaching a citizen who is not a criminal, who is not armed, let that citizen be able to exercise the right to record you, because you are already unduly advantaged. I mean, I know you have other questions, so I'll just stop there and take some of your next questions.
All right. We'll take a break. Let's just take this quick break. Just hold on with us. Tochukwu will join you in just a moment, just to put things in perspective, because this morning on the Punch newspaper, you have it here that the president is actually trying to engage the youth in 6 geopolitical zone. What does that mean for us? Does it mean people should not continue the protest? We learned that some Nigerians are bracing up for protest tomorrow. How credible this is and the outcome of it, we shall discuss when we return. Do stay with us.
I didn't hear you clearly, but I think you are asking me that some people are planning the protest tomorrow.
iReports gets even better with SuperScreen TV. Stand a chance of winning recharge cards for your efforts. Send videos and accompanying description to this WhatsApp line on 0811 1776 314. Viewers can send footages of newsworthy items, breaking news, and other events and have it feature on Super Screen television. Stand a chance of winning recharge cards for your efforts. Send videos and accompanying description to this WhatsApp line on 0811 1776 314. iReports gets even better with Super Screen TV.
If you see 5 million, what you go do with her?
I go tight and well. They come out and small.
I go throw party. Everybody go know say I collect 5 million.
I go run come on Nigeria, do business.
If I go put that money on top of any business, the business goes spoil.
Super!
Screen!
Super!
Screen!
Super! Wetin make monkey like banana pass plantain?
And the truth be say, I no be monkey. To say I be monkey, I for no banana no get the plantain na get.
All of us are animals. Both monkey or human being, we are animal kingdom.
Monkey not too big, so he like banana because banana is small. If now gorilla like plantain.
E good make pikin they eat by go school.
E good well.
No make sense at all. The pikin go to sleep for school.
I think give my pikin self, they know they select.
They have a garri for house, they have a small soup. They can pick about to your pikin, go school in the morning. They come back, say, can fit chop ever.
I say super, you say screen, super.
Skin.
And I say skin, you say skin.
Now inside Super Screen TV, it dey happen, my country people.
Hello, what is Saturday for you? For me, Saturday is for spice. Join me here every Saturday on Super Screen Television as we bring you the Super Breakfast Show, straight from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. See ya!
I got time.
Education refers to the process whereby a child or adult develops the ability, attitude, and other forms of behavior which are of positive value to the society in which he or she lives. Education beyond walls, a new narrative. I am Taiwo Ololade Salvador, your anchor. Join me on Super Screen Television every Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. Be kind to one another.
Welcome back to U45 Morning Show. We're still looking at the headlines, and of course, we'll have Tochukwu Ezeukwu with us on the show this morning as we're looking at the issues around US election in the last 48 hours. I figured a young Nigerian, 31-year-old, a Nigerian US citizen, actually got an office in the House of Representatives. That sends a signal. What is it for us here in Nigeria? What are the youths yearning for? What are their demands with the Endsars protest, the 5 for 5, and of course, all the happenings? Let's get to business now. Tochukwu Ezeukwu, a development professional, is still with us on the program this morning. Tochukwu, let's touch light what we have on the Punch newspaper. That is a story that gets my attention, and I want you to bear your thoughts. The Sun newspaper, I beg your pardon, it says here, Endsars Buhari seeks monarch support to meet protesters' demand. I don't know if you've seen this story, and it has a rider that says, President's Chief of Staff leads team to engage youth in 6 geopolitical zone. Is that not enough to say that the presidency is now ready to engage the Nigerian young person? What do you make of that?
To be honest, I didn't hear you completely. I think the much I heard was that the president is seeking monarchs' support to sort of handle the demands that were made during the Endsars protest. Okay, yes. I mean, it's a good thing if the president is seeking monarchs' support. But and theoretically, it is supposed to be expected that monarchs have some type of control and influence over their subjects or constituency. But you see, I mean, even these monarchs, their own palaces were bombed. So,
I'm with you.
According to them, but this is not a problem that we can pay lip service to. What are the demands? The one, justice for the people who have been unduly harassed, extorted, brutalized, or killed in the past by the rogue or now disbanded SARS, right? You don't need monarchs to do anything in that process. You just need to be honest. You need to be honest and allow justice take its course, right? The root of this matter is accountability, and you have seen from the behavior of state actors that they are increasingly aggressive towards any system or mechanism that aims to hold people accountable. We are just not used to being held accountable, right? I mean, you have a presidency or a government that you need to go, you are a journalist yourself, just to interview some of these people on the things that we are paying them taxpayers' money for. Is a problem. You need to scheme, you need to, do a lot to just get a public servant to speak to the press. That is even where it begins. If the public governors cannot be interviewed, how then? These people they don't carry arms, they don't carry AK-47. How much more the person who carries AK-47 in the dark, in the hinterland where there's no light, where there's nothing to hold them accountable. So it almost begs the question when you now say that the people who have the constitutional responsibility to ensure that the rights of citizens are not trampled upon are now asking or sort of seeking monarchs to solve the problem. I don't see any sustainable role that these monarchs will play outside the fact that we do not have a credible judicial system. Even the monarchs, if they have an issue, the courts, the judicial system will fail them, or the justice system, let me put it that way, might fail them, or is more likely to fail them. So let us not pay lip service to this. The most consistent solution to this problem is to hold the person who is more powerful in the equation, accountable to the power that he has. As government, you are more powerful, so the light must be shown brighter on your activities. As law enforcement agency carrying an AK-47 part-time, the light of justice, the light of accountability and transparency must be shown directly on you. And we must then encourage a system that allows that light to continue to be shown on the people who have undue advantage. This is supposed to be simple science. It will not cost an extra dollar, an extra naira for an executive order to go out today to say that for every policeman, a particular rank and below who is armed, when you approach a citizen and you are armed, ask the citizen to exercise his right to record you. It's simple transparency. No budget is required. Just make it the responsibility of the person carrying a firearm to ask the citizen he's approaching to exercise their right to record. For example, today, Nigerians are still confused as to whether or not they can record public officials or law enforcement agents freely. The IG of police should come out and say, clearly look into the camera and tell Nigerians that they can record law enforcement agencies safely without the fear of brutality or harassment. And much more than come out to say it, because we know some individuals who have done that in the past. There should be something, an instrument of states, either an executive order or a law that then legislates that right. And then you issue a circular to all policemen that people can record you. It's simple. The more we are able to record law enforcement agents, the less they will be able to carry acts of impunity. It's simple science. It's called reactivity. People are going to act differently when they know that they are being watched. It's simple.
All right, Tochukwu, let me take the last one before you now tell us the lessons that we've learned thus far as a people from the Endsars protest. This morning, we have some stories around what the Nigerian police is saying, but there is a press release on the 5th of November. This is credited to the Lagos State Police Command, and it says, "We will resist any planned protest in Lagos." There is a statement from the Lagos Police Command to resist any protest. And we already learned that some Nigerians are planning to get back to the streets tomorrow. Names not mentioned, but if you follow the story, especially trends on the social media, some people are planning to get back to the protest. What does this mean to you when the police is saying, let me read you a portion of it, if you can hear me. He said, the command wishes to inform the general public that based on intelligence gathering from relevant intelligence agencies, some unpatriotic elements or group of people have concluded plans to orchestrate another set of violence in the state in furtherance to the recent Endsars violence. Let me just leave it at that. What does that statement mean to you as a citizen of Nigeria?
Thank you, Chris. I saw that information yesterday. And I thought it was unfortunate. It's unfortunate partly because the state has postured as though there's a panel of inquiry that is supposed to legitimately process the complaints of Nigerians who have been brutalized or killed or injured during the process of the Endsars or earlier by the now disbanded SARS. Then now you come as a police unit to say that you will resist protesters. First, to set the record straight, in case there are minors or there are people watching this show who don't know, it is your right to peacefully protest. So the police cannot unilaterally say they will stop protesters. Now, if you find people who come out to cause havoc, it is your duty as a police to resist them if they are causing havoc. Which is why I think they failed as well in the last, just to set the record straight about the Endsars. The Endsars was largely peaceful until a curfew was called, and 99% of the destruction for which we are commiserating the Lagos state government for and about happened during and after the curfew was imposed, which brings to question the efficacy and the effectiveness and the capacity of the Nigerian police to keep the peace. I mean, what police station do you burn down? What police station do hoodlums spend 2 hours burning down? Not one person is resisted, no reinforcement from anywhere, nobody is arrested on the scene. What kind of capacity of the police is that? I'm close to a case where hoodlums attacked the police station, they burnt it down, went behind the police station, attacked the barracks, met a young man in the presence of his mom in the barrack, who's certainly now a police son or a police child, attacked the man. This is the story of the Makinde police station in Mafoluku, and attacked the young man in the presence of his mom and younger brother and killed him in the police barrack. This brings to question capacity. Capacity. What is the capacity of the police force to keep the peace? So your job as a police officer, or as a police actually, is to, while the Endsars people were protesting, you were supposed to mobilize enough protection for them to continue to protest peacefully, and then on their behalf, resist any element that sought to infiltrate their ranks. That was your job, and the police failed at that job. Let's be clear. So there's no pride. There's no medal to be given to the police, even though, with due respect to the men they lost, right? And God rest their souls. But the job of the police is not to resist peaceful protesters. The job of the police is to protect them from being infiltrated by non-legitimate actors.
Okay, all right, let's take the last one so I can allow you to handle business for the day. What are the lessons you would say Nigerian young people should take away from how far so far the Endsars protest has gone? Because let's leave what will happen from tomorrow, but thus far, with the judicial panel going on, panel of inquiry, this morning the soldier is going to be appearing before the panel. What are the lessons we can learn from this?
Thank you very much, Chris. I think the biggest lesson here is that it is not a strong man that will deliver our democracy. It is not a saint or an angel that will deliver to us the dividends of democracy. It is what someone has called in the past eternal vigilance. I think it is vigilance by the populace that will deliver to us a democracy that we can be proud of. And I think there's a wide spread belief that once we vote in somebody who is good, who is a saint, who has high morality, who has high standards, that for some reason he will be such a strong, angelic man, and he will deliver to us the democracy that we desire. I think the Endsars movement has proven to us and given us a tool that we can continue to now use to knock on that door of justice. No strong man is going to deliver this democracy. It is institutions that will deliver this democracy. It is vigilance by the governed that will deliver this democracy. Where you see, I mean, just look at this Endsars protest. Some Lagos State House of Assembly person made a very nasty comment about the youth. Youths are holding him accountable on social media, and he's recanting, apologizing. Another person, another lady said something very uncomplimentary about the Nigerian youth and generalized and labeled the Nigerian youth, showing her own transgressions as well. And as I speak to you, there's a recall process going on for that particular legislator in the Lagos State House of Assembly. So it is not a strong man that would deliver the benefits of democracy. It is that we are vigilant and we will not allow infractions to happen unresisted, unchallenged. Social media that they are trying to now suppress by some way is now a solid tool to do that. We cannot resist you because you're carrying an AK-47, but we will tweet and the world will see it. The owner of Twitter will see it and give us a logo. Barack Obama will see it and join our cause.
Okay.
Joe Biden will see it and retweet and send a message to Buhari. So eternal vigilance by the government is what will guarantee sustained and dividends of democracy.
All right. Tochukwu Ezeukwu, want to thank you for actually spending time with us this morning. You've actually brought out some part of the conversation that our viewers are calling to actually make inquiries about. But we hope we can take this conversation further as the new week unfolds, because the weekend is a little bit, I don't know how to say, there is a cloud around it because we don't know what the outcome will be. Meanwhile, I want to say many thanks for joining us. Do have a lovely weekend ahead of you.
Thank you so much, Chris. It was a pleasure joining you. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks. Okay, that was development professional. He just lent his voice about a few things. But of course, now we're turning over to you. Feel free to call the line. Let's talk about the fact that Lagos State Police Command is saying no protest. And the wrap-up part of that particular press statement, I would like to say, I'd like to bring it to bear here. I quote, we encourage the general public to ignore any call for protest and go about their lawful businesses, as all hands are on deck to maintain law and order and public safety across the length and breadth of the state. This is Lagos, where we're reaching you live from, and this is a statement from the Lagos State Police Command. So call the phone line, send us a word, let's get talking. Do you think the protest should continue, or we should listen and hearken to the voice of the Lagos State Police Command to go about doing our business? Because of course, this morning, we have it on the news, the federal government from the executive, which is the presidency, is setting some strategy with the chief of staff to engage youths and the protesters across the 6 geopolitical zones on the issue of the Endsars protest in order to have a dialogue that can have our society more sustained. We'll take a break. We'll come and take the rest of the papers. Then, of course, we'll take your calls in the course of it as well. Do join us again.